Hi everyone, in this video I will explain the horror film called The Ring. The Ring is an American supernatural horror film released in 2002. The story of this horror film begins with two teenage girls, namely Katie and her friend Rebecca, who are having a sleepover in Katie's home. During that time, Rebecca told the story of a supposedly cursed videotape. She said that anyone who watches the videotape gets a mysterious phone call, and that person will die in 7 days. Katie said that she went to a cabin in the mountains called Shelter Mountain Inn in the previous weekend to spend time with her boyfriend and two other friends. Katie further said that she had watched the cursed videotape at the cabin exactly 7 days earlier. Then suddenly the phone inside the house rings. The two girls are very scared after hearing the phone ring, but they are calm after knowing the phone call is from Katie's mother. Katie is talking with her mother, and after that, she returns to her room in the upstairs. But when she enters her room, the TV inside her room turns on by itself. Then she is killed by an unseen force, leaving her face mysteriously disfigured. In the next scene, Katie's aunt, Rachel, who is also a journalist living in the city, came to pick up her 8-year-old son, Aiden, from school. Rachel's son, Aiden, was not only Katie's cousin but also a good friend of Katie. Aiden's teacher told Rachel that Aiden had been drawing disturbing pictures of his cousin, Katie's mysterious death before Katie actually died. This shows that Aiden is sensitive to psychic occurrences. The next day, Rachel and her son came to attend Katie's funeral. Rachel meets with her sister, who is also the mother of Katie. Her sister told Rachel how she found her daughter's distorted corpse with a look of pure horror on her face. Since Rachel is a journalist, her sister asks her to investigate the strange death of Katie. Then Rachel talks to some friend of Katie at the funeral. She discovers that the people who saw the videotape with Katie at the cabin in the Shelter Mountain Inn all died on the same night and at the same time, which is at 10 p.m. She also finds out that Rebecca, who was the only witness to Katie's death, is now admitted to a mental hospital. Then Rachel goes up to Katie's room, where she discovers a photography pickup slip. She takes the photography pickup slip and goes home. The next morning, Rachel goes to pick up the photographs. The photo looked normal at the beginning when they visited Shelter Mountain Inn. But Rachel discovers that the faces of all those who died were distorted in the most recent pictures. So, she decided to travel to Shelter Mountain Inn and investigate the cabin where Katie and her friends watched the videotape. After she reached the Shelter Mountain Inn reception room, she saw a strange unnamed black videotape among other videotape. She took the strange videotape and stayed at the same cabin, which is cabin number 12, where Katie and her friends had watched the videotape. After Rachel stays at cabin number 12, she watches the videotape, which contains gruesome and a seemingly random series of disturbing black and white images. The video includes footage of a well in the form of a ring, reflection of a strange woman and a girl on a mirror, a man standing near the upper window of a house, a burned tree, many dead horses near a beach, and a woman jumping off a cliff. After watching the video, she receives a phone call from an unknown caller and hears a child's voice that says 7 days. Rachel thought that someone is playing with her using the phone call. So she goes out of the cabin to check but sees no one. The next day, Rachel calls Noah, who is her ex-husband, to show him the strange video and asks for his help. She gives Noah a camera and asks him to take a photo of her. The result of the photo shows a severely distorted face of Rachel. Then Rachel convinced Noah that this effect of a distorted face on camera is done due to watching the cursed videotape. She also told Noah that Katie and her friends were killed after watching this videotape. However, Noah does not believe about the link between the videotape and the deaths of Katie and her friends. Later, Noah also watches the videotape, and immediately after watching the videotape, the phone inside the room rings. But Rachel is scared and didn't pick up the call. Then Noah asks Rachel to make a copy of the videotape for further investigation. Then Rachel went to her office and made a copy of the videotape. She brought the copy of the videotape to Noah's office so that they could analyze the video. Noah told her that whenever you record a videotape, the makeup of the control tracks is like a signature for the videotape. The control track could tell from where the videotape came from. However, this videotape does not have any control track, which is very strange. They again watched the video together to find the location of the image inside the video but failed due to the distorted images. But Noah told Rachel that he was going to find out the origin of the videotape. Then she visits Katie's friend Rebecca in the mental hospital. Rachel asks her what happened that night when Katie was mysteriously killed. Rebecca replied that she will show you. But Rachel has no idea what Rebecca is saying. Rebecca also reminds Rachel that she has only 4 days left until she dies. After that, Rachel again visits her office and eventually discovers hidden imagery of a lighthouse in the video. After watching the videotape, Rachel begins experiencing unreal situations. While watching the video clip by clip, she pauses a section of the video in which a fly is running across the screen. But Rachel finds out that she is able to pluck the fly from the television screen. Then suddenly she started bleeding from her nose. Rachel takes a print copy of the images of the strange woman and an image containing the lighthouse from the video. After that, Rachel visited a library to investigate the image containing the lighthouse in the videotape. During her investigation, she is able to find out that the lighthouse is located on Moscow Island. Upon further investigation, Rachel identifies the strange woman in the videotape to be a horse lover named Anna Morgan. Anna Morgan lived on Moscow Island with her husband and daughter and raised horses on a farm. Rachel discovers that a mysterious tragedy befell the Morgan family, in which all the horses seemed to go mad, killing themselves by drowning on the sea beach. This supposedly caused Anna Morgan to become severely depressed. Shortly afterward, Anna Morgan took residence at a mental institution called the Iola County Psychiatric Hospital. Then she finally killed herself by jumping off a cliff. After viewing the videotape, strange things also begin to happen to Noah. While Noah visited a convenience store, he started seeing his blurry face in a camera installed at the convenience store. That night, Rachel returns to her home and sees a ghost girl sitting on a chair inside her room. When she goes closer, the ghost touches her hand and shows a vision of a video recording scene of her in a mental hospital. But it turned out to be a terrible nightmare. But Rachel sees a burn mark on her hand, which is done by the ghost. So she was confused about whether it was a real incident or not. Just as Rachel is beginning to truly fear there is something dangerous about this videotape, she is later horrified to discover that her son Aiden has watched the cursed videotape. When the video finishes, a scary arm reaches out of the well. She immediately turned off the TV. Her son, Aiden, told her that he could not sleep, so he found the videotape and watched it. Rachel got panicked and called her ex-husband Noah. As they talk on the phone, Noah tells Rachel that he also believes her claims about the cursed videotape because the recently taken photographs of him are all distorted. Rachel and Noah leave their son, Aiden, in Rachel's sister's house. After that, Rachel heads for Moscow Island to meet with Richard Morgan, who is the husband of Anna Morgan. At the same time, Noah travels to Iola County Psychiatric Hospital to check Anna's medical files, which may contain missing footage of the videotape. When Rachel is traveling on a ship to the Moscow Island, the cursed presence inside Rachel unintentionally drives a horse to jump off the ship, or it is killed to death by the ship propellers. Finally, Rachel reaches the Morgan house and meets with Richard Morgan. She finds out that the Morgan house is the same house that is present in the videotape. She also sees many photos of horses and Anna Morgan winning the title for horse riding. There is also an oval-shaped mirror hanging on the wall that is the same as the mirror present in the videotape. All this proof that the image in the cursed videotape is related to this house. But Richard Morgan refuses to talk about the videotape and his daughter. Then Rachel goes to see the local doctor of the island to ask about the Morgan family. The old doctor tells her that Anna wanted to have a child more than anything, but she was never able to successfully carry a baby in her body. But one winter, Anna and Richard Morgan left their house and returned to the island with a young girl named Samara. Thus Anna and Richard Morgan adopted a girl named Samara due to her infertility. But after some time, Anna started complaining about horrifying visions that only happened when Samara was around. So the doctor sent both Anna and Samara to Iola County Psychiatric Hospital located on the mainland. After knowing the story about the little girl Samara, Anna again goes back to the Morgan house. Meanwhile, Noah goes to Iola County Psychiatric Hospital and finds Anna Morgan's file. Inside Anna Morgan's file there is another file called Projected Thermography, which contains the secret document of the young girl Samara. On the file cover of the Projected Thermography, a video record with the name SM0015 was mentioned. So Noah came to looking for the video with the name SM0015, but he discovers that the video is missing. When he checks the record of the last person who took the videotape, it is written as Richard Morgan. This means that the missing video record of Samara is in the possession of Richard Morgan. So Noah also heads to the Moscow Island to meet with Richard Morgan. It was becoming dark and Rachel sneaks back to the Morgan house. Inside the house, she discovers a box containing some documents of Samara, such as her birth certificate. On the birth certificate of Samara, it is mentioned that she is not adopted, which means she is the real daughter of Anna. Rachel also finds the missing videotape that contains records of Samara. She watches the videotape and sees Samara having a conversation with a doctor in which Samara is explaining about her powers to the doctor. In the video, Samara explains that she does not intentionally hurt people around her, but it won't stop. After watching the video of Samara having a conversation with the doctor, Rachel is struck from behind by Richard Morgan. Then Richard Morgan takes all the electronics equipment in the house and brings them into his bathroom, where the bathtub is overflowing with water. He told that the young girl Samara is not his daughter but an evil girl. Rachel told Richard Morgan that she and her son have both watched the cursed videotape. But Richard Morgan told her that there is nothing he can do and that she and her son will die for sure. Then Richard Morgan intentionally kills himself in front of Rachel by lying in the bathtub and turning on the electronics using an extension cord around his neck. Noah arrives at the house just after Richard Morgan's death. Then he goes to the barn together with Rachel. There they discover an isolated little room above. At first they believed the young girl Samara was kept there by her father, but when they checked there was no one. Most of the items in this little room are those images that are present in the videotape. After a moment, they discover a burned image of a tree behind the wallpaper that is similar to the burned image from the videotape. Rachel remembers seeing the tree near cabin number 12 at Shelter Mountain Inn. From this, we can conclude that Samara had the uncontrolled ability to psychically attach images onto objects, and this resulted in her creation of the cursed videotape. She also had the supernatural ability to burn images into the things around her, including the minds of the horses and her parents, which led her mother to kill herself. After that, Rachel and Noah depart from the Morgan farm and arrive at the cabin number 12 in Shelter Mountain Inn. Then they discover a well underneath the floor of the cabin. They remove the lid and check the bottom of the well. At that moment, the ghost started to haunt them by turning on the TV. The TV fell and pushed Rachel into the well. Thus, Samara's ghost let Rachel fall to the place where she was killed. While Rachel is stuck at the bottom of the well, a ghostly hand grabs her. At that moment, Rachel experiences a vision, which reveals that Anna suffocated her daughter Samara using a garbage bag in order to end the madness created by Samara's ability. Afterwards, she pushed Samara's body into the well. However, Samara did not die from suffocation. Her eyes open as she sinks under the water and watches her mother close the well. The image of closing the well is similar to a bright ring. This is why a bright ring is seen while watching the cursed videotape. After Rachel awakened from the vision, she was horrified and thought that Samara was still alive inside the well. She searched and found Samara's dead body under the water. Rachel holds Samara's dead body and tries to calm her spirit. But Samara's dead body rapidly decomposes in Rachel's arms, which immediately turn into skeletons. Then Noah called the rescue team and saved Rachel from the well. Rachel told the rescue team to give Samara's skeleton a proper burial so that her spirit can rest in peace. Afterwards, Noah informs Rachel that the time she should have been killed by the ghost, that is, 7 days, has passed. This makes Rachel and Noah believe that setting Samara's spirit free from being trapped in the well broke the curse of the videotape. While both of them are resting, Noah asks Rachel, how long could someone survive after being trapped in a well? Rachel replied that anyone could survive inside a well for 7 days. This is why anyone who watched the cursed videotape was killed in exactly 7 days. After that, Rachel and Noah took their son Aiden from Rachel's sister's home. Then they all returned to their homes. At this point it seems that everything is well again, and Rachel informs Aiden that they will no longer be troubled by Samara. But after hearing that, Aiden is horrified and tells his mother that Samara's spirit should not be released from the well because her spirit never sleeps. So they were not supposed to help Samara. At that moment, Rachel sees the bruise mark on Aiden's arm, which is given by Samara in a nightmare that Rachel already experienced. Then Aiden begins bleeding his nose. This is proof that the curse of the videotape is still not over. Rachel realizes that Noah is next and rushes to his apartment to save him. While she does, Noah is going over some film prints in his apartment when his TV turns on by itself. Then the ghost of Samara was seen crawling out of the well and slowly walking out of the screen. After a moment, Samara's eyes stared directly at Noah, causing his inevitable death, similar to the death of Katie. When Rachel reaches the apartment, she discovers Noah's disfigured corpse. Immediately, Rachel rushes back to her home. She then destroys and burns the original videotape. Still, Rachel is unable to understand why she was spared by the ghost of Samara and not her ex-husband Noah. At that moment, Rachel realizes that she was spared by Samara's ghost because she made a copy of the videotape and showed it to Noah, while Noah did not make any copies of the videotape. Now she understands that the only way to escape from Samara after watching the cursed videotape is to make a copy of the videotape and show it to someone else. So, Rachel decides to save her son Aiden by helping her son to make a copy of the videotape and thus continuing the cycle of the curse. As the videotape copy is made, Aiden turns to his mother and asks what will happen to the next person who sees the videotape.